Hey friends, welcome back to Real Life English, the podcast that helps you learn how to speak and understand English like it's part of your real life, not just something you study. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Jack, and today we're diving into something that frustrates almost every English learner at some point: fast English. You know what I mean, right?
Absolutely, that moment when you're listening to a movie or trying to talk to a native speaker and all the words just blur together. It's like the person is speaking a different language, even though you know it's English.
Exactly, and that's the problem we're going to unpack today. Not just talk about the symptoms, but the real reason fast English is so hard to understand and how you can actually fix it.
Right, because this isn't just about listening harder, it's about changing how you listen. And once you do that, everything becomes easier.
Okay, Jess, let's start with the most obvious issue. What actually makes English sound fast to learners?
Well, first of all, it's not just speed. It's the way English flows. Native speakers don't pronounce every word separately. We link sounds, we reduce words, and we stress certain parts while swallowing others. And that's what throws learners off.
Totally. I remember a student who said, "I understand English in my head, but when I hear people speak, I can't follow them." And it's because in school, we learn the dictionary version of English. But real English? It's messy, it's musical, it's full of shortcuts.
Yes, and here's a good example. Did you eat yet?
Good one. In natural English, that becomes "eat yet," sometimes even "jeet yet."
Exactly. And if you're listening for the full words, did, you, eat, yet, you're not going to recognize that.
So let's talk solutions. The first thing learners need to understand is that this is a trainable skill, just like learning to play music or a sport.
Yes, your ears can adapt. Your brain can learn to hear those patterns and understand them in real time. But you have to give it the right kind of training.
Okay, Jess, let's break that down. Step one is recognition. You've got to start noticing the patterns in real speech. That means listening to real English. Movies, podcasts, YouTube videos, stuff where people speak naturally.
Exactly. And don't just hear it, but study it. Replay the sentence, pause it, ask yourself what words are being reduced, which ones are linked, what sounds are disappearing.
Let's do one together. Listen to this sentence. What are you going to do about it?
Now here's how it sounds in real speech. What are you going to do about it?
Boom, 5 words reduced into something totally different. And the only way to catch it is to expose yourself to it and repeat it.
Which brings us to step 2, shadowing. This is where you repeat what you hear immediately after you hear it. Try to copy the rhythm, the speed, even the emotion.
Think of it like singing along with a song, but for speaking. It trains your mouth, your ears, and your brain at the same time.
Here's a good exercise. Take a 30-second clip from a show you like. Play one sentence, pause, and repeat it exactly. Don't worry about being perfect. Just try. Then rewind and do it again.
And honestly, 5 minutes a day of this can make a huge difference because you're not just learning vocabulary, you're learning the music of English.
Okay, Jack, let's address something else that trips learners up. The fear of not understanding every word.
Yes, big one. A lot of learners panic if they miss 1 or 2 words, but the truth is, native speakers do too. We miss words all the time, but we keep going because we understand the idea.
That's so important. It's okay to not catch everything. Your goal is not perfection. Your goal is comprehension. Can you follow the conversation? Do you understand what's happening? That's what matters.
Right, so that leads us to step 3. Focus on the big picture. Stop trying to hear every single word. Instead, train yourself to catch the meaning.
One way to practice this is through visualization. When you hear a sentence, close your eyes and picture the scene. Like, he ran to the bus stop and barely made it. Imagine it happening in your mind. That helps your brain process the message more naturally.
I love that. That's how we process language as kids, through images and stories, not through word-by-word analysis.
Exactly. Okay, we've got a couple more practical tips before we wrap up. One is dictation practice. Super underrated.
Yes. Listen to a short sentence and try to write down exactly what you hear. It's harder than it sounds, but it helps you catch those tiny details like contractions and linking sounds.
Another one is accent exposure. Don't just listen to one type of English. Explore American, British, Australian, Canadian, even different regions within each country. The more your ears hear, the more flexible they become.
And finally, be patient. This stuff takes time. It's not going to change overnight. But if you practice just a little every day, your ears will get sharper, your confidence will grow, and one day you'll realize you're following fast English without even thinking.
So, to sum up, here's your toolkit. Listen to real English every day. Practice shadowing. Focus on patterns and meaning, not individual words. Try dictation and visualization. Mix up the accents you hear. And most importantly, stick with it.
And if you're still listening right now, that means you're serious about improving, and we're so proud of you for that.
Thank you for spending this time with us. If you found this helpful, follow the podcast, leave a review, and share it with a friend.
We'll be back next time with more tips, real conversations, and tools to help you live and speak English with confidence. Until then,
Keep practicing, keep listening, and remember, English fluency is just one conversation away.